Elara Petalwing, a wisp of a pixie no larger than a human's thumb, often found herself gazing at her own reflection in dewdrops, a sigh escaping her pale green lips. Her russet red hair, perpetually tangled with stray leaves, framed a face usually marked by nervous uncertainty. She yearned for her magical dust to sparkle, to burst forth in vibrant hues like the confident pixies of her community. Instead, her iridescent wings, usually dull and translucent, only ever trailed a faint, almost invisible shimmer, a whisper of what could be. Every flight was a clumsy ballet of near tumbles, each misstep reinforcing the crippling self-doubt that held her magic captive. One breezy afternoon, a particularly ambitious gust spun Elara off course. Her wings fluttered frantically, but her usual anxiety seized her, her tiny limbs tangling. With a yelp, she tumbled downwards, landing with a soft thud amidst a carpet of moss. She lay there, slightly disoriented, before pushing herself up. This wasn't the familiar territory of the bustling pixie glades. The air here was still, thick with the scent of damp earth and ancient wood. Before her stood an oak, unlike any she had ever seen. Its bark was a tapestry of wrinkles, its branches reaching skyward like gnarled arms. It radiated a profound, almost palpable calm, a silent hum that seemed to resonate deep within her. Elara felt a strange pull, a sense of peace that momentarily quieted her buzzing thoughts. The ancient oak, sensing Elara's turmoil, didn't speak with a voice, but with an unwavering presence. Elara felt its wisdom like a soft current, an understanding that seeped into her anxious mind. Distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. She spent days by its roots, the oak's quiet stoicism a stark contrast to her internal chaos. She'd try to fly, stumble, and immediately chastise herself. Then she'd remember the oak. The fall itself you could not control. Your reaction, your self-judgment, that is yours. It was a difficult lesson. Her thoughts still spiraled, her hazel eyes wide with worry. She wanted to instantly grasp this peace, but her old habits clung to her like burrs. Yet a tiny seed of hope, fragile but persistent, began to sprout within her. She found herself taking deeper breaths, observing her fear rather than drowning in it. The forest, however, was about to demand more than quiet contemplation. A creeping blight began to spread through the forest, a sickly grey creeping over vibrant leaves, silencing the joyful chirps of forest creatures. Fear rippled through the pixie community, their once bustling glades now filled with hushed whispers and worried glances. Elara watched, a knot forming in her stomach. The blight was a chaotic, uncontrollable force. But the oak's teachings echoed. You cannot control the blight's existence, but you can control your response to it. She realized her nascent inner calm wasn't just for her. It was a shield she could offer. Her community, her home, needed her. Taking a shaky breath, Elara resolved to face her anxieties head-on, to find the source of the spreading shadow. It was a terrifying prospect, but the quiet strength of the oak settled in her core. Elara, guided by the blight's sickly trail, ventured deeper into the shadowed woods. She found a cluster of glowing fungal spores pulsing with the blight's malevolent energy. Remembering a lesson about redirecting negative energy, she reached out, intending to contain them. But her hand trembled, her focus wavered, and a stray gust of wind, fueled by her internal tremor, scattered the spores further. A fresh patch of vibrant moss instantly withered. "Oh no!" she gasped, her heart plummeting. The setback was minor in the grand scheme, but to Elara it felt catastrophic. Her old enemy, self-doubt, surged, paralyzing her. "I'm useless. I only make things worse." Her faint, dull dust faded completely, leaving no trace behind. She slumped against a tree, her wings drooping, shame and fear a suffocating blanket. Despair threatened to consume Elara. The blight pulsed ominously ahead, closer to the pixie glades. She squeezed her eyes shut, wishing she could disappear. But then, she felt it. The echo of the ancient oak's profound stillness. You cannot control the blight, you cannot control the wind, you cannot control past mistakes, but you can control your actions, your fear, your focus, right now. A flicker of clarity ignited within her. It wasn't about being fearless, but about acting despite the fear. Her past mistake was just that. Past. She opened her eyes, fixing them on the Blight source, a pulsating dark root. She wouldn't try grand spells. She would simply be. She would channel the calm she had learned, focusing her entire intent on containing the Blight. Not through force, but through unwavering inner peace. Taking a deep, steady breath, Elara pushed herself forward. The dark root pulsed, threatening to overwhelm her. But this time, her mind was a quiet pool, unruffled by the external chaos. She extended her tiny hands, not with a desperate plea for magic, but with a calm, resolute intent. She focused, not on the Blight's power, but on her own inner stillness, on the simple truth of what she could control, her response, her presence, her peace. And then it happened. Not a grand spell, but a breathtaking, brilliant eruption. Her magical dust, once dull and invisible, burst forth in a blinding, vibrant shower of emeralds and golds, swirling with an ethereal light. It wasn't from a burst of power, but from her unwavering inner peace, a reflection of her unburdened spirit. The light enveloped the Blight's source, not destroying it, but containing it, pushing back its sickly grey with pure, radiant calm. The root shriveled, its malevolence receding. Elara stood tall, her iridescent wings glowing with a newfound luminescence, her hazel eyes shining with quiet strength. Her self-worth, finally unburdened by external fears and doubts, sparkled brighter than any spell. Her community was safe, and Elara, the once clumsy Pixie, had found her true magic in the steadfast peace of her own mind.